Welcome, gamers around the world, to One More Game podcast. This is episode 45 on the 11th of May, 2023. I'm your host, theStroke, and I'm here with my good friends once again, Swiftmida. Swift, what's going on?
Excited to be here. Oh, I'm so stoked for our main topic.
He's back in it, baby.
Tell you what.
And I'm ImPickleMatt. Welcome back, sir.
I saw a ghost behind you just now.
Yep, she's he walks here and there, they say. Cool. Well, if you're joining us in the chat, we're happy to have you as always. We are going to talk Zelda tonight in preparation for the release of a game that's already getting 10 out of 10s from everywhere you can find it. So we're excited to talk to you and revisit the past, a link to the past, if you will, for you Zelda fans tonight. But
Topical.
First, before we do that, let's just talk about it. This only happens once every, 5 to 7 years that we get a new Zelda game. So we gotta take advantage of it while we can. This episode is going to be sorely missed by one of our other members of One More Game podcast, Buttered Toast, who pretty much wrote the episode show notes by himself. But guess what he's doing currently?
He's at a hockey game, right?
Yep, the Dallas Stars hopefully win tonight. But
Let's go Stars.
This one goes out to you there, buddy. Hopefully you're watching us on your phone. You better be. All right, guys. let's jump right into the news for the week. All right, ImPickleMatt, lead us off. What do you got going on with Hogwarts Legacy?
Hogwarts Legacy was a big moneymaker for old Warner Brothers there. They amassed $1 billion in revenue on the game so far, and it hasn't been released on the Switch, which should happen later this year or next. That's their fifth $1 billion plus IP for them, which I think they needed the W, based on their movies and streaming service. They're kind of hurting. DC Universe kind of sucks with the exception of a few movies, but yeah, there they go. Hogwarts, milk that cow as much as you can.
Besides,
dude, I thought.
Oh, go ahead.
I just was gonna say I thought the game was awesome, and despite all the, weirdness happening with people complaining about the game and the series, happy it's doing well because I've been a Harry Potter fan since I was about 10.
Yeah, aside from Harry Potter,
when the first one came out.
Aside from Harry Potter and let's say DC, even though the movies are trash, I'm sure they make plenty of money. What do you think the other billion-dollar IPs are for Warner Brothers, if you had to guess?
Does that include all media forms or just video games?
All media.
Ooh, that's tough. Ooh. You said besides DC?
Besides DC and Harry Potter, of course.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't know. Warner Brothers is tough. Yeah, I don't know.
The one that kind of surprised me, I guess, will make sense though, is Game of Thrones. I guess HBO is owned by the Warner group.
Sure. Oh, no kidding. All right.
Yep. DC was in there. I think some other.
Oh, The Hobbit. Yeah. So Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
The Lord of the Rings.
There you go. Yeah,
all right. Well, congrats, Hogwarts Legacy. That's kind of crazy. They made that much money without even being on Switch, and it just came out, I think, on the older Xbox and PlayStation. So they're about to probably see a pretty good jump in their revenue from that $1 billion, which is kind of cool. Well deserved, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive. I wonder how much. I'm sure there's a number somewhere, but I wonder how much money Harry Potter has made for the various publishers over the year. I assume it's like nearing 100 billion or something,
Yeah,
with all the books and movies.
Insane amount.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Good for JK.
Let's jump into.
Is it actually true? Is it actually true that she was homeless prior? Like she wrote these things on.
I don't
napkins,
know.
As I've heard.
There's so much like lore around her that I don't even know what's true and what's not.
Yeah.
I think she thought of it in a dream, is what she originally said. But
Okay.
yeah.
I had heard rumors that she stole it from someone else and all kinds of stuff. So who knows? All I know
Wow.
is that
there would have been lawsuits.
I guess we haven't talked about this, but they did ink a deal with HBO to get a Harry Potter going on HBO. So
Yeah.
We're
One
finally-
book per season.
we're
is
finally
what I
going to
heard.
see Hermione and Ron bang it out on HBO after dark.
Oh, gross.
No gracias.
No gracias.
I actually would be excited about that because I truly love the books and the movies did an okay job.
What?
Sorry, about the series, not
Oh.
about. Oh, shut up.
I was very confused.
That was really bad timing. My bad. But I would actually be excited for the series because they could do so much more as far as plot line and character development in a series versus a hour and a half movie for a single 700-page book.
Totally agree with you. Jen's been listening to the audiobooks because she never read them growing up, and she's like, man, the movies miss a lot. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Oh, they miss so much. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be down to see a series legitimately devoted to Voldemort and his childhood. Just only him.
That would also be very cool. Cool spinoff to just see why he is the way he is and develop his power.
One-ply toilet paper, I think, is what drove him over the edge.
Yeah.
There's no spell for that.
There's no spell for that.
Just to clear the poop out of your butthole.
Wipus totalis. All right, moving on. Diablo 4 Battle Pass and seasonal details have been released. Seasons will be 3 months long, and they'll introduce kind of how Diablo 3 works, fresh concepts and ideas into the world of Sanctuary, the developers have said. So it's going to kind of work like a lot of other Blizzard games currently. The standard Battle Pass will be for free, and then you'll have access to the premium version, which has more things to unlock for $10. And then your accelerated cheater mode will be $25, and that'll give you 20 tiers unlocked, quote unquote. We're making this for those who have a late start in the season but don't want to miss out on the cosmetics. Okay.
We want more money.
Yeah.
Dude, do you know if you pre-ordered the game, do you get the standard battle pass or the premium? I was trying to look it up real quick before I asked the question. I just couldn't
we got
do it.
the premium battle pass, if I remember right, but I'll have to check into that. It's a
Okay.
good question.
Yeah, I can't remember. Let me pull up the Blizzard client.
There's a stress test this weekend, boys. Just don't forget about that.
You gonna get in there, or are you gonna be playing Tears?
Negative. My copy of Tears is on a UPS delivery tomorrow.
Why do you need a copy? You can literally download it in 2 hours.
Nope, because I like a physical copy of the games that I want to play forever and ever.
Okay, boomer.
Dude, I respect that.
I can also resell that if I need to, if I want to.
I also just looked it up for if you pre-order the Ultimate Edition, you get the accelerated seasonal battle pass.
Oh.
For Diablo 4.
How do I know what
I'm assuming
edition
just for the first 3 months.
Bought.
I got the Ultimate because it came with a WoW mount when I was super into WoW. But now I'm happy about it because that battle pass will be dope,
Nice. Marketing wins again.
It always does.
All right. Well, we'll be in there. You can bet your sweet OneMoreGame 11 butts that we'll be playing some Diablo. So if you want to join us, why don't you join our Discord, OneMoreGame Discord. PickleMatt's going to post that link in the chat there, and I'll also have it available for you in the description for the podcast in case you're listening abroad. But we'd love to have you guys join our Discord as the community continues to grow. There's people to play games with and talk about games and meme and all that stuff. So, all right, guys, let's move on. Hollow Knight, another big game series that I'm a big fan of. They just released an unfortunate update on Twitter about what's been going on with Silksong, the follow-up to their original game, Hollow Knight. And he basically said, "Hey gang, just a quick update about Silksong. We had planned to release it in the first half of 2023, but development is still continuing. We're excited the game is taking shape, and it's gotten quite big, so we want to take the time to make the game as good as we can. So no actual date, more to follow as they get closer to release. But if you've been looking out for that game for the last, what feels like 4 years, but it's actually 3+, you will wait longer." Swift, this might give you enough time to beat the original because you loved watching me play it so much.
Yeah, I still don't think I'm going to do it. I'll be honest.
Okay. Have you played Hollow Knight, Stab?
I did, yeah. I don't
you
think
beat
I
it?
beat Hollow Knight.
It was hard to
No,
beat.
I played it
That's
on the
so-
Switch, but I played a lot of it.
I guess it's different than Hades, right? So I was thinking like Hades, Hollow Knight. I'm surprised you didn't beat Hollow Knight.
He is
since you
God
beat
Gamer.
Hades
He probably
in
beat
like
it.
2 days.
Hollow Knight
but
took me a little bit longer to get used to. I think it's a little more skillful. I don't know. There's
whoa,
a lot more
watch
variety.
your
It
mouth,
seems like
dude. I still suck at
There's-
Hades.
there's more.
Hollow
Yeah,
Knight is definitely
there's-
more Elden Ring-y than
Yeah.
Hades.
Yeah. It's a different kind of game. It's good though.
All right, fine. Well, that pretty much wraps up the news for the week. We'll just jump right in to the game's radar this week. If you guys had to guess what sound I just made from a Zelda game, what would you guess?
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Good job. Cool. All right, PickleMatt, why don't you lead us off with the game's radar?
Yeah, timely for the season. Death or Treat comes out to all platforms May 11th. It's a The Halloween spirit is missing. Play as Scary and help him save Hallow Town. Death or Treat is a 2D action roguelite and hack and slash with hand-painted environments and traditional animation. Explore all the worlds and defeat hordes of enemies using different weapons and skills. Which
Yeah, if you're oh, go ahead.
I was just the description sounds exactly like every roguelite we've seen in the last 5 years.
If you're looking at the gameplay here, it looks a lot like Hollow Knight, except like there's a lot more neon colors and stuff, but it actually looks like it's right up my alley. 2D platformer Metroidvania style game.
I mean,
It's actually pretty
the
good.
main character looks like the Hollow Knight.
Yeah, even the way he swings his weapons look like
Yeah.
the same. I might check this one out. So Death or Treat today, available on all platforms.
You're right. They nailed the timing, I think.
They did.
As far as the seasons.
Halloween
in May. I think we're exactly like 6 months away from Halloween, as far as you could get.
All right, Swift, why don't you tell the listeners about a little obscure game of the year called, I think it's Tears of the Kingdom?
Tears.
Yeah. So tomorrow, I think, what did we all agreed that we're taking off work tomorrow to play this game all day?
Yeah. Yep.
Essentially.
I've been off work all week, just getting ready.
Well, love
just
that.
getting ready, preparing my body for malnourishment.
Yeah, right. The main topic of the week this week will be Zelda, as we alluded to, and we're all very excited about this, to include our other buddy who's not here, who we have actually introduced on camera.
No,
but Toast.
He was at the live reaction to the Game Awards.
Yeah. True. He was.
Yeah. True.
You're right. But yeah, Tears of the Kingdom tomorrow. Get on it. It's gonna be awesome. We got lots of news that we have. Well, if you're a huge Zelda fan, you probably have seen a lot of it too. But we got some stuff.
The only thing I hate is that I have a OLED Switch and not the Tears of the Kingdom Switch.
OLED.
That thing looks so cool.
If I see that tomorrow on my travels, I'm gonna buy it.
My original Switch was the Breath of the Wild Switch with the case, the brown case.
Oh yeah.
And then we left it on the airplane that one fateful day, which is why I had to switch to the OLED.
All right, I'll give you
It's
one
too
more
bad.
game, if you will. Humanity comes out on PlayStation and PC on the 16th. It's an unusual experiment in puzzling entertainment, especially what I can tell from this screen. So if you're watching here, if you're not watching and you're just listening abroad, what I'm looking at is a little glowing puppy dog leading masses and masses of simulated human beings through this puzzle solving game called Humanity. Basically, you are manipulating massive crowds of individual people of all kinds, and they work together and fight against each other in various ways to solve puzzles. It kind of looks
It looks like
pretty
Lemmings.
unique. Yeah,
The way they climb walls is very unsettling to me.
it's kind of like World War Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very weird. Oh, there's some
Okay.
shooting going on too.
My cats are fighting. It might be worth a check out, dude. Swift, this might be a good candidate for obscure game.
Yeah.
It's pretty trippy looking.
Plus, I do love a little, puzzle. So
A good humanity puzzle.
All right, PickleMatt, lead us.
gotta save
lead
humanity.
us to the finish line here with the game's radar.
Oh yeah, the first R-rated movie that ImPickleMatt ever saw as a child, Starship Troopers Extermination. PC comes out on May 17th. Puts players off, on the far off front lines in an all-out assault against the arachnid menace. Work together in frantic 12-player squad-based co-op FPS combat to complete objectives, acquire resources, build and defend your base of operations, and then escape.
First boobs I ever saw.
Yep.
Co-ed showers.
Same.
Yep.
And first ones I saw over and over and over and over again because of Rewind.
Dude, the fact that it's 12-player co-op sounds awesome.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that. There's no game out there that has that sort of number of party.
No, that's so many people joining up.
Yeah, that's very interesting. And it's got base building, which I love, as well as like horde modes. It looks like this could be pretty good. The animation looks kind of rudimentary, but if it's got good gameplay, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I did read some reviews on it. They said the shooting feels really good. The combat, like the way that the enemies flow and attack you, makes sense for the movies and kind of gives that same chaotic, never-ending battle sense. So it might be worth checking out. I think this games radar is the first time where I found 4 games that I'm like, I'll probably try all of these, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's such a good part of my childhood, that movie. Very gory too. Affected me in many ways.
The brain, the one that eats the brains. Remember that one?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. So I had heard that they had intended that movie to be a parody when it came out, but it doesn't really look like that. Do you remember?
The technology wasn't there to make it parody enough, so it just looked like they were trying really hard to make a sci-fi.
It's crazy that it's got Denise Richards, right? And then the dude from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Dude, Denise Richards. She was in that and then Blue Mountain State. Oh, unreal. She looked the exact same. So hot.
Amazing
Married
what
to Charlie
plastic
Sheen at the
surgery
time, I think.
does.
Hey, there's one other.
Surgery does.
Speaking of plastic, there's one other news item. Did you guys see the ROG? Is it ROG Ally by Asus?
I did see some reviews on this thing.
Officially pre-orderable. So I thought this was very interesting that it became pre-orderable the same day that they allowed reviews to come out on it. And the reviews were less than stellar too, which was interesting. Did you guys get a chance to look at that at all?
I did. I saw Linus's video on it. He basically said it's a nice piece of hardware that won't kill the Steam Deck. So
yeah, that's what people were pitching it as, was a Steam Deck killer. Because if you look at the side-by-side comparison of the two platforms, like the ROG Ally looks like it should be like kick the Steam Deck's ass, but apparently it's natively running Windows.
That's the main
And
problem.
yeah, and Asus is a hardware company, not a software company. So there's like bloatware on it and stuff slowing it down that the Steam Deck doesn't have to deal with because they have their own internal OS.
Yeah,
'Cause
Windows does not play friendly with handheld / mobile devices, and so I don't see this working very well.
yeah,
that sucks.
Valve is a software company, so it kind of makes sense that their software would be better. But they're saying that one of the reviewers was playing Doom Eternal, and he could only get on like medium settings, he could only get like 45 minutes of gameplay before the battery was shot, and then an hour and a half if he turned everything down.
Cool.
But
Well, I'll be.
I know we've complained about the Steam Deck as far as battery before, but it's better than that for
Oh, yeah.
sure.
yeah, you can get like 2.5 hours on a like a
On
pretty demanding game.
Elden Ring, yeah,
Yeah, which is but I don't know. I don't think anybody should give up on it. I just wouldn't pre-order it if I had the money, because they
yeah.
have a lot of time to fix it. It sounds like, and if it's software stuff, I feel like that's more fixable than hardware. But who knows?
So what is the? I think we've talked about it before, but I can't remember. And I haven't looked it up. What is the price point of this? Did you see that in the article?
It's pretty comparable
It's
to the Steam
comparable.
Deck.
I think I want to say
They have-
$600 for like
Okay, got it.
the normal model.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have the two different models, and then they're both AMD architecture. So,
got it.
but yeah.
Well, if anyone picks up an ROG Ally, let us know how it is. Reach out to us at OMG_podcastGG on Twitter or Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know how that bad boy is working for you, if it's improving your gaming lifestyle or not. And we'd be happy to talk to you as well in the Discord, like we already talked about. Speaking of Discord, have you guys ever been browsing through our Discord and seen a channel called Sweet Pickles? Well, tonight
I have.
ImPickleMatt is going to explain to you what that is and why you should care.
Oh, Sweet Pickles is the channel where I post, and anyone can post really. So, and including bots, the best gaming and video game, or even just general technology deals that are available to you, so you can save some money on some video games and accessories or whatever you're shopping for.
Nice. You got any sweet deals in there right now? I know I posted one about a Fortnite skin, if you care about that stuff.
No. So here's the thing: is I have a 3-month-old that doesn't like to sleep, and then there's water filling up one of our bathrooms, so we've got to do some insurance claims and stuff like that. But if you look, you can get Swift Lifestyles Reaction XL for gamer focus. It's a supplement that won't give you the jitters. It's the best.
It's also OneMoreGame official license inspired by yours truly and my two friends. And I love this stuff. I took it before work, actually. And I was just locked
laser
in.
focused.
Just locked
Laser
in, boys.
focused.
And
it's
then
guaranteed to give you 150% more focus, whatever that means. That's
And
not
more-
actually true.
It actually raised my mana. Nobody could prove that that's not true. So
Yeah, no, the things that I say are made up. So, but it is nice. It's good. It doesn't taste bad either, right? It doesn't taste like those really crappy like
no, it tastes great.
supplements that you take before workout.
No,
Yeah.
it tastes great. 0 sugar, but it tastes like blue raspberry. I don't know how that works, but it's awesome.
I
Check it
like
out.
to mix it up and freeze it into ice pops and eat it on a hot summer day. Sorry.
On a cold summer day. You can go over to swiftlifestyles.com and use
I'm just
code
flying by wire here, man.
OMG
Just
Pod
making
10.
shit up.
That'll get you 10% off and free shipping. So get yourself a tub of OneMoreGame inspired Reaction XL, and you won't regret it. All right, guys, let us move into the major topic for the week, the Legend of Zelda series. All right, we're excited about this. This is probably one of the series that deserves the most time and respect, but as is tradition, we won't bore you for too long talking about stuff. So let's just start off with this, guys. Swift, what is your favorite Zelda game that you've ever played?
Ocarina of Time.
No, just hands down. No, not even a hesitation.
Absolutely. Nope.
Nice. Just part of
Yeah.
your childhood, probably.
It was part of my childhood, and I know we've kind of dabbled in this before as far as favorite games of all time, but part of my childhood, part of my sister's childhood, watching her get scared in temples and having to help her. I mean, it was just the game was a masterpiece on
Yeah.
N64.
It was hard to describe how good that game was
Yeah.
at the time. Cool. PickleMatt, how about you? I think you're probably a little bit different, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't actually play a whole lot of Zelda as a kid. Just one of the games that we didn't get, sometimes that happens. We had like Star Fox and Mario and stuff, but we never really had Zelda. So my favorite one of all time is Breath of the Wild because that's the one I remember playing the most.
Nice. Yeah, we all, I remember all of us hunkering down in Korea and playing Breath of the Wild for hours on end. That game has an infinite number of things to do.
Yeah, it really does. And
Did
then
you
if
find
you
all
run out of things to do,
the Koroks?
no, I got pretty close, but then I think we switched to Overwatch, and I kind of stopped playing Zelda.
Nice. It is a hard
Yeah.
game to get back into. I will say that.
Yeah, there's a lot of dynamics
tried.
to the game.
I have tried to get back into it, and I just can't.
It's funny too because it explains the controls so well while you're going through it, but as soon as you don't play for a little while, I'm like, how do I use my stasis or whatever? Like, I'm just no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's kind of the problem with the Switch with the motion controls because you can, if you don't play that for a while, you can easily like forget the. Because Splatoon does that. Did you guys play Splatoon?
A little bit, yeah.
I never have.
Use the motion controls to aim. So if you don't play for a little bit, it's like getting back into Call of Duty where there's just 7-year-olds
Noobs dominating
mopping you up with their ink, so to speak.
Yeah.
with their splooge.
Nah.
All right, mine is a little weird, controversial, I guess. But first, I'll say what Butter Toast is since he's not here, and his is definitely not on people's top of the list for the most part. But he absolutely loves Skyward Sword. He just beat the HD remaster with his son. I think they played it twice through actually, but he loves that game, which is cool. Mine's also a little bit of a curveball. I love Majora's Mask. I love how dark it is, how weird it is. I love the time aspect of it. I love the temples, and it's a great game. I wish they would remake it.
Dude, I'll be honest. Majora's Mask is up there on mine. You're right. It's darker, but it's also like weird.
It is weird.
You know, where you have to control the time and you have to beat the clock and all the things, and it's just like it just throws kind of another different thing into the storyline.
Yeah, it's definitely it's one of the weird games in the series because there's no Ganondorf. Like, the bad guy's not really someone you would expect to be a bad guy. So there's a bunch of weird stuff going on, but I love it.
Did you guys see that they remade Ocarina of Time in 2D like 6 years ago?
Yeah, it came out for the
top down. Yeah.
What
was the game? What was the original Zelda that looked like that? The 2D top down. Because I do remember playing that Zelda.
The 2D top down? Well, the original was 2D top down.
Yeah, maybe I played the original quite a bit.
I bet you probably played Link to the Past, if I had to guess.
Look it up.
But we'll talk about it here in a second. But all right, so let's move on. We know what each other's favorite game is. Have you guys ever heard of the Zelda official timeline?
No.
Okay, so
today,
if you really want to nerd out and before Marvel was trying to make up the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Zelda already had figured out time travel and different timelines and how all that kind of works. So If you want to know where it all began, it was the Skyward Sword. It's the origination story of Hyrule and the Master Sword and all that. Okay. Ocarina of Time would be considered the splitting event. Okay. So at the end of Ocarina of Time, Ganondorf transforms into Ganon, the Demon King. And that's where the timeline splits. Okay. If you win as Link, you go into a different timeline called the we'll call it the Hero is Triumphant timeline. Okay, so that's where you get your Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Four Swords Adventures. If the hero loses, you go into A Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, A Link Between Worlds, the original Legend of Zelda, and the Adventure of Link, which is really weird that kind of the first two games are considered towards the end of the timeline.
But these are but Ocarina of Time was after the
Correct.
A Link to the Past.
Correct. This is just canon. Canonically,
this is retconning. Oh,
yes.
I see. This is like Star Wars, where you have to watch cartoons and the movies, then Rogue One. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, and now if the hero is triumphant, he splits into two different timelines: the child timeline, which we just talked about, Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Four Swords Adventures, and then there's the adult timeline where you go into Wind Waker and the world gets flooded, and then I think that's also where Breath of the Wild would fit in, and there's Tears of the Kingdom. So there you have it. The most nerdy thing you're going to hear about today is the official Nintendo-approved Zelda canon timeline.
Okay, so this got me thinking. It is awesome. It's cool that so when you start Breath of the Wild, it's like something bad happens and then you go to sleep for 100 years. It's very confusing. Which it makes more sense now looking at this timeline because there's like weird things that have happened. But you know what this makes me think of though is the Nintendo Cinematic Universe.
Yes.
Like, come on, Nintendo, let's get going.
Can't wait.
Let's get some.
I'm counting at least 10 Zelda movies they could make.
Zelda movies, dude. That would be so awesome.
All right. As long as Zelda's super hot, though. All right. Moving on.
You mean Link?
I mean, Link is
Zelda's the princess.
Yeah, Zelda's the princess.
Zelda's the hero. Okay, speaking of that, I love how Zelda has infiltrated pop culture. And like even non-gamers like to make fun of the fact that non-gamers think that Zelda is you play Zelda, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when Buttered Toast last night was texting me that he wasn't going to be able to make it to the game because or to the podcast because he was going to the Stars game. Jen grabbed my phone and said, "It's okay, I'll take your spot. I know a lot about Zelda, the hero Zelda, and something like that. Her green outfit or whatever she said."
Oh no!
I mean, it is kind of deceiving. Let's be honest, right? The series is called Zelda, and yet you barely even see Zelda.
I'm gonna think of other games that are like that. You guys keep going.
I mean, there are games that Zelda isn't even in. She's literally not in some of them. Link's Awakening, she's not in at all.
That's too bad.
Cool. Well, I had to just bring that up because it's kind of like your litmus test to see if a girl's cool or not, right, guys?
True.
Yeah.
Or if someone's a true gamer. If they think Zelda, you're playing as Zelda. You're not the guy.
You're not the guy.
It's a test. It's just a test.
Yeah.
It could be a test for us though too.
They say that she's the most important character, which I mean, I still can't agree with that at all.
No, she does nothing. She's kind of useless. It's like Peach in Mario.
Whoa.
Oh, have you seen the movie yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh my god.
Oh, actually, on the topic of movies, I saw, total veer from the topic, but I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Is it good?
Have you guys seen that?
No.
It might be my favorite Marvel movie. Well, I don't know. That's a bold claim, but it was outstanding.
Why is it getting such bad reviews?
I don't know. I think I cried like 15 times.
For laughter?
I mean, maybe I'm just a bitch, but no, it wasn't laughter. It goes.
Wow.
I don't
Okay,
want to do any
hashtag no
spoilers.
spoilers.
Yeah.
Well,
But it
Chris
was amazing.
Chris
Wow.
Pratt came out as Christian, so a lot of people in Hollywood don't like him because that could be part of it.
Oh yeah, God forbid. All right. Well, here's what
Yeah,
we'll do
sorry.
to finish.
Did not want to derail the topic there.
Here's what we'll do is we'll just go through all the major Zelda titles. We're not going to talk about any spin-offs, anything like that, or how Link is the best character in Super Smash Brothers, and we'll just quickly talk about some tidbits about all the games. If you guys think of anything for the game that you played, just chime in, and we'll talk about it. So all the way back to the past in 1986, the first Legend of Zelda was released on the NES in Japan. And it's pretty much been sold on any Nintendo console since, and it's sold 6.5 million copies. Probably considered the most iconic and important RPG of all time, and to this day still holds up as a fun open world game to play. You can beat that game in whatever order that you like. There are some caveats to that, but how about you guys? Have you guys played this / beat it?
I have played it. I don't think I've beaten it though. It was back in the day where you didn't beat games, like Lion King. Not saying it was difficult. It's just like I was like 6 or 7 years old, and not really good at games.
Yeah, I honestly don't think I ever played this. The first one.
So when I was in pilot training, I bought this. I don't know. It was like a 3-in-1 console that you could put NES games in, Super NES games in, or Sega Genesis games in. And so I took it upon
snap.
myself. So I played the original Legend of Zelda when I was a kid, but I had no idea what I was doing. My dad didn't have the patience to teach me how to play because it's a very difficult game for kids. And so I never beat it. And so it was my goal in pilot training to beat all the Zeldas. And so that was what I started with. And I embarrassingly took me a long time to figure out how to beat that game because it's not easy. Cool.
Yeah.
Then the next game I tried to play, so Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, it was a direct sequel to the original game. It was a 2D side-scrolling game, so completely different than the last game. Introduced the magic meter, and it's the first time we ever see Dark Link or Shadow Link in a Zelda game.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean other people who played it, because I played for about 5 minutes and hated it. Cool.
Play that.
Swift, did you play Link to the Past on Super NES?
I did play Link to the Past. Yeah. I think that was well, I guess obviously based on my timeline. Well, actually, I think Ocarina of Time might have been my first one. And then when I got my Super Nintendo in college, then I went back to Link to the Past. So,
I can see that.
Yeah.
Cool. Same story for me, dude. I played it a little bit when I was younger, still a little bit too hard for me at the time, and then revisited it back in pilot training and beat it later on. But it came out in 1991 in Japan. First Zelda on Super NES. Actually, it might be the only Zelda on Super NES, now that I'm thinking about it. Yep. And it's the first game to ever feature the Master Sword. So I remember that iconically, where you go into the forest and you see it in there, and the sun shining through the canopy. But cool, one of the greatest games of all time, in my opinion. All right, Link's Awakening. PickleMatt, did you play the remake on Switch?
I actually bought it and I played it for about an hour, I think, but I don't know what distracted me. I think a different game, but
Yeah.
It's too late now. Maybe in a few months.
How about you, Swift? Did you play this? It was on Game Boy as well back in the day.
I did not. I don't think so.
The remaster was good though.
The remaster was
What
really
I
good.
saw.
This game's a little bit weird because it's not set in Hyrule. The whole thing is kind of a dream uh, inside of Link's mind, and came out on Game Boy in 1993, black and white. No Zelda, no Triforce, and the whole thing was a dream. And the remaster was really good, but that kind of sums up Link's Awakening. I remember playing this on Game Boy. My buddy had it. Dom had it. He let me borrow it. I'm playing it, and I got to a point where I couldn't progress, and I thought that there was a glitch in the game, like it was broken, and this was like pre-internet, so I couldn't look it up, and so I never played anymore.
I'm confused what the intent, like, what's the end goal of the game if there's no Zelda Triforce?
So
Just to get out of the dream, I guess.
there's a big theme in the game of music. Musical instruments is what you're collecting, and you're trying to wake up the wind fish.
Okay.
And the windfish is waking up the windfish is your primary goal.
Is the goal. Okay, got it.
You should try the remake. It's actually a pretty good game. All right, then we have it. Ocarina of Time, N64. What else to say about it? 1998. It's the first 3D Zelda. The soundtrack is probably one of the most iconic soundtracks in all of gaming. And if you need anything else to say about it, masterpiece. What else?
Yeah, I actually, Shannon just texted me a little while ago, and we're talking about Mother's Day for my mom, and Shannon goes, "Focus on the podcast," and my sister was like, "Oh, tuning in now." So I think she might be in the chat, like listening. So you're welcome for helping you beat that game back in the day.
You're welcome. This is one of those games I remember playing with like other people socially while one person played and like 2 or 3 other people were in there just watching, and you would like swap off.
Dude, and again, I know we've talked about it before, but like the Shadow Temple, the Water Temple, all like very difficult puzzles for us when we were kids,
Ew.
growing up, but just outstanding overall.
Love
Loved
it. If you haven't played it, you can find it on multiple different avenues. Get in there.
Yeah, my sister just texted me. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Suck it. All right, cool. Then we have Majora's Mask, my favorite game. 2000, direct sequel to Ocarina of Time, much darker. It operates on a 3-day cycle, okay? It's not set in Hyrule. You roll into this place, and the Skull Kid has taken the most powerful mask in the world. Majora is a Dark House top 5 Zelda game. Dark Horse. Okay, yeah, I agree, dude. But by top 5, you mean top 1. Yeah, it's so good. The way you have to race against the clock constantly to try to figure out what's going on and then travel back to the beginning and reiterate over and over again is genius. Probably the first time it's happened in gaming, which I can't imagine the code that went into that, right? And things change depending on what time of day it is, what you've already done on people's schedules. There are definitely some things that happen in that game that don't make any sense for time travel, but whatever.
Yeah, I agree with you. Phenomenal game.
Cool. Yeah, then we roll right into some games that I did not play. Did either of you play Oracle of Seasons or Ages on Game Boy Color 2001?
My brother had the Game Boy Color. I had the Game Boy original.
Nice.
I
These
was the middle
games
child.
were the first Zelda games that weren't developed directly by Nintendo. Capcom was in cahoots with them. They were 2 different games, so think like Pokemon Red and Blue. They were interconnected, not necessarily like same game with slightly different things in there, but the games are connected in a way where you played the other one, the other game would influence what's happening in the other one. And so you could play 2 games, but kind of get an overall experience where the environment changed and things like that. So pretty cool according to people who have played it. I just haven't found the time, but I do have it on my Steam Deck.
Yeah,
And then,
nice. I have not played that.
Then we have the Wind Waker. Kind of controversial. This is probably my top 3 or 4. I'm currently playing it on the Steam Deck. Do you guys ever beat Wind Waker?
I haven't beat it, but I've played it.
Nice. Cartoon, cell shaded style. A lot of people hated it at the beginning until they realized that it's such a great, perfect example of a good Zelda game. But yeah, if you haven't checked out the Wind Waker, get in there. It's kind
I've
of
also
a
seen on like the, I don't know, I guess on Twitch or whatever, the speedrunners, people get into glitches hard on Wind Waker because they
oh,
can
they
do
do,
like
yeah.
the palm thing, that you used to do in Mario Party that just used to burn up your palm
Yeah.
in the ocean to
Yeah.
give you super speed or whatever it is. I don't know, but yeah,
There's a lot
people
of
are
glitches in that game.
hard into that.
I'm playing it right now, and it's very charming, I guess you'd call it, but also exactly what you want from a Zelda game. So get in there. Highly
Yeah.
recommend.
I love old games with glitches too, because they never gonna patch it. They didn't have a way to patch it back then, and it just becomes part of the awesomeness of the game.
Yeah.
Like, you guys remember Wario Stadium on Mario Kart, where you
Oh
could
yeah,
jump over the
Swift is a
walls?
super cheater on that
I do that
level.
to this day. You have to.
You have to if you want to win against
Yeah,
us.
If you want to cheat, yeah, you have to. All right.
that's not cheating.
Four Swords Adventures came out in 2004 on Game Boy Advance. First multiplayer Zelda that everyone could play with the stupid Game Boy connecting link cable. Cool game, but I only played it a little bit with my buddy Dom. You guys
I've
get in
Worn out from
on
Dom.
that one?
never played it.
I never had a Game Boy Advance, so I was always borrowing one if I was playing those games. Which leads me to the same thing for the Minish Cap in 2004. Came out on Game Boy Advance. The main part of the story was that you were wearing a weird hat that would make you shrink or grow large to interact with the environment. And the hat was a bird. And it was the weirdest thing I ever saw. And I'm kind of turned off by that game. So, but everyone says it's super good.
Yeah,
Minish
I've
Cap.
never played it, and I think if I saw that as a trailer today, I would be like, nope, not for me.
Yeah.
It sounds like Yiddish or like Middle Eastern or something, the Minish Cap.
The Minish Cap. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's very strange. But yeah, good game, allegedly. All right, then we have Twilight Princess. This game has a special place in my heart. If you look at the date there, 2005 on. It came out on GameCube, but it was mostly remembered for its Wii release. It went back to the Ocarina of Time art style with a more mature Zelda. It kind of got rid of the cartoony cell shading. It did keep a lot of the same sounds and tropes from Wind Waker, but
Hey, listen.
Link turns into a wolf, and there's a weird little creature attached to him. I think she turns out to be a princess of a Twilight princess, if you will, of the Dark World. Her name was Midna. I remember playing this game because I had signed up to enlist in the Air Force, and my buddy had the only Wii amongst all of us, and so I would sleep over at his house because I told him that I wanted to beat it before I went off to basic training, and I had like a week left, and so I literally slept on his couch and played.
You'd just play for like 14 hours a day.
His parents would be like, "Are you gonna leave?" And I'm like, "I can't. I have to beat this game."
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
But can you make me a bowl of cereal, please?
It's now that we go through all this, it's really weird, like the amount of things they did with Legend of Zelda, like turn into a wolf, wear a Yiddish hat that's actually a princess or something.
Yeah,
There's a lot of odd dynamics.
there's always kind of a theme that they use to make it new but relevant to whatever's going on currently. So I think they've done a good job with adapting. There's been some misses, I will say, like Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks in 2007 and 2009 were on the DS. Phantom Hourglass was a direct sequel to the Wind Waker with the cartoon style, but you had to use the stylus to play a lot of the game on the.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, I tried to play it and I hated it.
I never had a Nintendo DS, so never even really paid attention to.
So I've read some reviews on playing it on your Steam Deck because there's an emulator that works with these and apparently it works pretty good. So I might check it out because everyone says the games are good if you can get past the whole stylus thing. So
Yeah.
we'll see. And then Spirit Tracks, yep, 2 years later, right after Phantom Hourglass, it uses a train mechanic. You travel between towns and the dungeons on a train, which is why that Smash Brothers level is a train. But yeah, I have never tried that one.
Oh, weird.
It's kind of funny to say that this is my favorite video game series, but there's like a large percentage of the games that I never really played.
Yeah,
It's a little bit.
I was thinking the same thing when I was looking up the list of Zelda games, and I was like, man, I feel like I haven't played a vast majority of these things, but the ones that I have played have been unbelievable, right? Like you cannot go wrong with any, like the N64 games, the Switch games to this point. Breath of the Wild, I know we talk about, not our favorite, but still good,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So
It's a little bit like God of War, where it's like God of War PS Vita.
Oh yeah.
Nobody's really played that,
They just kind of like act like they never happened.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Zelda's a little bit different though, because I think the DS was sold a lot more than that, like a PS, whatever they
True.
were. So these games might be a lot better. I just haven't played them.
Cool. In 2011, on the Nintendo Wii, kind of as the Wii was dying out, Skyward Sword was finally released. So if you take a look at when Twilight Princess came out, 2005, it took 6 whole years for us to get another one on the Wii. We already talked about it, but it's how the Master Sword was created. Uses a lot of motion controls, which is why people originally did not like it, because the Wii motion controls were shoddy at best.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah.
Amber Sweet 13 in the chat says, "Brother, that's not your brother, or that's not your sister Swift. That's mine." Welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining us.
Hey,
And
thank you.
go ahead and hit that button. Sweet. Skyward Sword. Yeah. What else is there to say about it? You flew around on a giant bird to travel between different places, which was kind of weird. But yeah, that's basically it. Skyward Sword was good. Mixed reception based on the motion controls. They did make a remaster on the Switch, and everyone loves it. So maybe I need to check that out.
Yeah, I have not played it on the Switch. I tried it on the Wii, and same kind of sentiment for me as far as just kind of wonky with the motion controls.
Yeah. Cool. Did you play it? Did you play it?
No,
ImPickleMatt?
I did not play Skyward Sword. Now that I'm looking at the pictures of it,
Okay, it's good. I liked it.
$60 on the Nintendo
Yeah.
Store for a remake.
Welcome to the
Come
future.
on.
Well, welcome to the future, dude. Everything's $60.
I know, especially Nintendo, man.
Yeah.
Cool. And then we got Link Between Worlds on 3DS in 2013. It's awesome. I love this game. It's an homage to Link to the Past. It has a mode where you can go 2D and melt into the walls, almost like you do in the 2D mode when you're playing Super Mario Odyssey. You're like paint on the wall. And then introduces Low Rule, which is like the dark side of the world, and then it's very similar to Link to the Past. So sold 4.2 million copies. Really good game. And fun fact, the only Zelda game that Jen has beaten.
No
Wow.
kidding.
Yep, she beat it all on her own when we were first getting together, if you know what I mean.
Okay. The title art is pretty cool. It's got like the triangles inverted and black.
You
It's got
would
like the
both actually
underworld thing.
really like that game, but it's on 3DS, which is hard to
You don't know
come
me.
by.
You can't emulate that or what?
You probably can. I haven't tried, but you probably can.
Yeah,
If you own the game, of course, legally.
of course.
Do they still
legally, yeah.
sell 3DS? Are they still available?
I bet you they probably do on their website.
Oh, yeah, discontinued September 16th, 2020. They sold 75 million copies. Holy cow.
Yep.
Good for them.
All right, and then last but not leastly was the Breath of the Wild on Wii U. Switch 2017 sold 30.7 million copies and one of the best-selling games ever, which is mind-blowing.
Mind boggling.
I mean, with all the history behind it, it's I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where people are into the series and they're just like, Zelda game? Yup.
Yep, sign
I'm
me
gonna
up.
buy that.
Every 6 years,
This was
sign me up.
this was a Switch seller though.
It
This thing
was,
sold
yeah.
the Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bundled with it, I think, for most of them.
So the development of this one was actually first purposed for the Wii U, and then they decided that it was time to convert it to a Switch game. And I think did it release? It did release with the Wii U as well, right?
It came out on the Wii U. It did eventually.
Yeah, but originally they weren't. I think they weren't going to release it on the Switch, and they started building it before the Switch was actually a thing, and then they later
So
converted it.
up until Tears of the Kingdom, I brought this up in a different
Yeah, I was
podcast
just
at one
about to
point,
say.
but there was a historical precedence that if a Zelda game was
Oh, yeah.
ever delayed, it was because a new console was coming out for Nintendo
Yeah.
and they were putting it on that. So that was the case with Twilight Princess as well as Link to the Past, and I do think the same holds true for Ocarina of Time.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And that brings us to the Tears of the Kingdom coming out tomorrow in about 1 hour. All right, so let's just talk about what we're expecting, what we're excited about. PickleMatt, I know you're the most excited, so I'll let you lead off.
All right. Here's what okay, here's the downers that I'm wondering about, right? So the complaints that we had, you didn't like the dungeons on Breath of the Wild, and then I think a lot of people didn't like the what is it called? The weapons that can break. Yeah. That
Yeah.
was frustrating. You would like I remember hoarding weapons and being like, "Ooh, I just don't want to use this because what if I need it later?" You know?
Yep.
So you end up swinging around a palm tree branch instead of like actually using weapons. So I bet they got the feedback on that. So I'm hoping that's fixed. But what I'm most excited for now is the new dungeons and then the new crafting system. It looks like you can do. Not that Breath of the Wild didn't have like that it had a shortage of things to do because clearly there was infinite things you could do. But now it just seems like that's going to exponentially increase with the amount of crafting and building that you can do.
Yeah.
Combining weapons and making rafts and stuff like that.
Yeah, it looks like there's some really cool stuff you can do. And I think we're going to be up in the sky a lot more, kind of building flying machines. So that should be pretty cool. If you're wondering what
there's a lot of
PickleMatt... Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, there's a lot of flying islands from what the trailer showed too.
Yeah. If you're wondering what PickleMatt was saying about the dungeons, basically they did get a lot of feedback about the dungeons in Breath of the Wild and how they were kind of more just puzzles, and then the giant beasts were dungeons, but there was no theme to them. They were pretty easy and straightforward. The boss wasn't very unique per dungeon. And so they took that feedback, and here's what the art director of Tears of the Kingdom had to say. The dungeons are huge and each carry their own regional look and feel, just like a traditional Legend of Zelda game. We think they will provide a satisfying challenge for players. They were certainly a challenge to develop for. So I think that is all I need to know that I'm getting some Zelda dungeons back into my Zelda.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, it's gonna be great. The cooking sounds, the different it has very unique sounds in the game. What I remember from Breath of the Wild. So I'm anxious to get back in there and just like feel the nostalgia of hearing all that kind of stuff and like
Yeah,
doing some cooking.
isn't one of them like bing, 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 boom, bing?
No, that's Pokemon.
I
Oh, yeah, you're right.
don't
Yeah, Pokemon. Thanks, Neil.
no, but I can I can still hear the cooking sounds and I can still hear the like the menus.
Yeah.
They're just very unique and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that game.
The
I
sound
can't wait.
design in that game is actually really good.
It is.
One thing I'm not a huge fan of is climbing with stamina.
Stamina bars.
True. Yeah.
I think
They
I think they have ways of getting around that in this game. So
yeah, you can like go through like solid objects somehow.
yeah,
I saw in the preview.
like Santa Claus or something. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Swift, what are you looking forward to? I mean, just getting in there.
Dude, I'm looking forward to it all. I'm excited for a new Zelda game. It's been a while, obviously. What, 2017? So 6 years now. Really looking forward to the dungeons, like you talked about. And I'm sure you were going to bring it up, but I'm going to steer your thunder. But Toast posted an article in our Discord that said the game is the highest rated game of the last 5 years on Metacritic.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because we just got done with Elden Ring and God of War.
Elden Ring, God of War. I mean, there's so many good games. The fact that it's, and it's kind I guess I'm tapering expectations based on critics, but I feel like these critics are better than movie critics as far as actually appreciating a game and not just looking for the, progressing human experience.
Yeah.
Nintendo just do what they're just magical, it's like the Disney that's Prime situation, like they just know how to make a really enjoyable game that doesn't necessarily have all the cocaine like effects of like a Call of Duty and whatnot, like Super Mario Odyssey. We talked about that at length. It's just so incredibly fun.
You sum it up perfectly with that, dude. I want to play a game where when I play, the only thing that I care about enjoying is my time with the game and figuring things out on my own and not having to worry about my rank or if I win or if my teammates suck. Like Nintendo has perfectly
weapon skins, all that BS.
Yeah, battle pass, all that stuff. I'm just excited to play a game that honors what a video game should be, and Nintendo does that better than anyone else.
Yeah.
Really quick, Breath of the Wild and obviously Tears of the Kingdom is basically the same art style, but the art style with this game, how would you describe this to people? Because it doesn't look cartoony, it doesn't look cell shaded, it doesn't look realistic.
It's almost a mix of all of them. It kind of looks cell shaded sometimes because things are highlighted with brighter colors and stuff, but I don't really know how to describe it. I can't compare it to any other game.
I think it's one of the perfect art styles for like just a plain fun game that we've seen.
Right.
It's so cool.
Well, cool. There you have it, folks.
It's gonna be great.
You know what we'll be doing this weekend, and I hope you guys get some time to play and enjoy a video game for what it should and could be. Hopefully, it's everything we're hoping for. But with that, we'll kind of get into what we played for the week. All right, PickleMatt, lead us off as you've been doing all day.
Yeah. I just remember that no matter who plays this has the option of playing Zelda on mobile because it's a Switch game. So I'm super stoked for that too.
Oh yeah, true.
Because I don't need to be tethered to anything. But what I played this week was Heroes of the Storm, and that's it. I think I played a game with you, Stroke, right?
Yeah, we played after the last podcast. We played a couple games.
I'm winning quite a bit. I've been playing a decent amount, and I played a few heroes for the first time ever, which was surprising to me. But
Actually, when I turned my computer on this morning, I saw you, Easy, and Tiger on playing ARAM or whatever.
I actually wasn't playing with them, but I did play with them earlier in the week.
Oh, got it.
They were already playing, and my son was napping, so I was like, I didn't want to bother them and be a lever in the middle of one of their games.
I get it.
Amber Sweet 13 in the chat says I'll have to get Patton on some Zelda. That's my nephew there. Here's what I want you to do, sis. I want you to have him play the Zeldas in the order in which they were released, and tell us how long it takes him to beat each one.
Oh dear God, that's a tall task.
Oh, he's
How
a
long
gamer.
is it?
He's a god gamer.
Is he?
Oh, he is.
Love that.
All right. What about you, Swift? What'd you play? I think you finally got to play a video game.
I played a video game for the first time in almost 2 months this
Whoa.
week, and it was Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Ooh, I'm curious. How is it?
It's really cool. I'm enjoying it. I didn't play. I played like, I guess, 2 hours total. But the way that you can split your lightsaber to have like one beam, you can have 2 beams opposite side, you can split them to dual wield. It's really fun.
That canon?
I don't know.
I think they have said that game is canon.
I think they did, yeah.
Oh, Swift, I gotta show you this since we're talking about Star Wars. Jen got me this on May the 4th. I'm about halfway through, but
yeah,
it's an X-wing.
That's a big X-wing.
It's a massive X-wing.
I think we talked about it.
Nice.
At some point after
expensive.
Christmas, but Legos are like the most zen, relaxing thing you can do.
Every time I'm stressed out, I just do Legos.
They're wonderful. I love them. Anyways, Jedi Survivor is good. Really enjoying it. Same kind of sentiment as the previous one, as far as it makes you feel like a Jedi. And I've only done I just got off the first world, so I'm not like super far into the game or anything, but
nice.
It's fun.
Oh, cool. I'm glad you got to play a game and you got to play something that you were wanting to get into rather than just kind of wasting some time on something. All right, I'll jump in real quick. I've been playing more Final Fantasy 3. The game is way better than the first 2, so I'm happy for that. There's a lot more mechanics going on. There's this whole part of the thing where you can't go into this world unless you shrink all of your party members down to the size of a frog, which is weird, but that's how it works. Let's see. I played Legend of Zelda Wind Waker on my Steam Deck because I own it on GameCube. A lot more baseball. Like I said, everything's baseball right now to Liam. So MLB The Show. He wanted to be he picked a team of all baseball greats. So he hit a home run basically every at bat with Hank Aaron, Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth. While I'm over here being the Phillies because I don't get to pick my own team. He picks them.
Like Barry Bonds, Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah. I'm like, cool. I played some Hearthstone a little bit and then some Fall Guys. Have you guys seen the update for Fall Guys?
I haven't, no.
So they just released a map editor mode. Just like Super Mario
I did see that
Maker.
on the Discord, yeah.
Yeah.
There's going to be some fun levels.
It'll be cool to see what people come up with that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's going to be some incredibly frustrating levels. Some people are going to make you want to.
I like to do the Mario Maker levels that are basically like Rube Goldberg machines where you just hold straight and you just go through and then you go to the finish line. Nice. And then that's it. So yeah, had a pretty healthy gaming week, but not a whole lot of time. Cool, gents. That's our gaming for the week. If you guys are excited about a game, you want us to play a certain game and want us to stream it, reach out to us. OMG_podcast GG. Twitter, Instagram. We'd love to hear from you. Love to play the game and talk about it on the next episode. All right, guys, before we head out for the night, what do you got some advice for these would-be Zelda players starting tomorrow? PickleMatt?
Ooh, I don't know. I think you're going to get tempted by all the side quests and dungeons and things. So make a decision early. Do you want to do the story first, or do you want to go through and just blast through every single piece of content you can find and then do the story? I think I'm going to do a little bit of both.
Nice. I tend to play these kind of games like a floating piece of paper in the wind, like whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then you're God mode by the end because you have
and then I never
all
finish
your
the
upgrades.
game. I never finish
Yeah.
the story. That's exactly how it works
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
It happens a lot. That's why I try to diligently try to work through the story as I'm doing a couple side quests.
All right, Swift, what do you got before we go? Last chance, fancy pants.
I would say I don't want to influence anybody in one way or the other, but if you're gonna play a Zelda game to start, I would play Ocarina of Time. I know I'm biased because it's my favorite, but if you have an N64 lying around, or if you have somebody that you can borrow one from, or whatever, that is truly a masterpiece.
Truth. Chef's kiss.
Yep.
Get after it. Ocarina of Time. And then go right into Majora's Mask. And you'll be like, what the F is going on? It looks the same,
Yeah.
but it's trippy. All right.
But it's way different.
That is it for us for this week. Thanks for joining us, guys, in the chat. As always, you guys are the best. The support is awesome. And I promise you, things are on the horizon that will return the favor, if you will. We are currently working with Viral Tech to come up with a really cool giveaway for you guys, you loyal OMG supporters. And so look out for news on that on our Twitter here in the near future. For listeners who want to catch us live,
And
chat with
OnlyFans.
no, not OnlyFans.
No, not that. Okay.
For you listeners out there on podcasts who want to catch us live, chat with us while we chat about video games on air. We stream every Thursday night at twitch.tv/OMG podcast at 10 p.m. Eastern time. All right, gents. That's it. You can find our other episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or omgpodcast.podbean.com, or anywhere else you might find some podcasts. Before you go, I'll leave you with one final thought. Just because you have to grow up doesn't mean you have to stop gaming. Game on, gamers, and we'll see you on the next episode of One More Game. Swift, PickleMatt, see ya!
See you, buddy.
See ya.